Olivia Brown from Miami Vice.
Yes.
Is this your first time at one of these events, or at this event?
It's my first time at this particular event, yes.
How many of these do you do a year?
Not many.
Okay, so,
I live on an island. I spend a lot of time on my boat now, fishing and just relaxing, so I don't get out and do too many of these.
where's that at?
I live in Key Largo.
Okay. So you didn't get far from Miami, I guess.
No, I went Los Angeles, and then after my children went off to college, I said, okay, Mom's gonna retire and do this.
Right.
Go live on an island.
So you have some me time now. So how was it working on Miami Vice with the likes of Don Johnson?
It was great. It was great. I had a wonderful time. He and I were like good friends, and he did a lot of more work than I did, so I got to like have a lot of time off, and I loved it. I never saw anybody never argued. Phil and Michael Thomas never had a bad day. Nobody ever cussed. Nobody ever yelled at each other. Sandra and I are two women that worked on the show for 5 years. We never argued. I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
What have you done since? You mentioned designing women to the
Yeah,
young lady.
I was a regular on Dear John. I did designing women. I've done some movies. What was it? I just recently. I did a lot of stuff. I was on Lois and Clark. Look, this is all the stuff I did.
That's a lot of stuff.
And this, yeah, Moesha. Yeah, and all this. So I worked a lot. Actually, I think I did more work afterwards than any of the other, and probably Don. But I know I did more work than any of the other people afterwards. I kept working. And I had another series right after I was on Dear John.
I haven't seen Philip Michael Thomas that much since Miami Vice, but
Yeah, I think Philip went and did a series like in Europe.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And then he guest starred on that thing that Don did in San Francisco with Cheech or Chong or whatever.
Nash Bridges.
Yeah.
So, well, anything else you want to say about your career or plans for the future?
Well, I'm working on a book. I'm working on a project with Khalil Ali, who was Muhammad Ali's wife,
Okay.
to do her story. And I have a movie right out on, it's on Tubi or what is it?
Oh yeah.
It's on cable.
Yeah.
Okay, remember the guy that was in Blind Side, played the football player?
Uh-huh.
Yes, he and I are we did a movie, and it's it's about what do you call those cars? Soapbox cars.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I play and really, this will show my age. Okay, I will admit I am a pretty 67, and and I can't even remember the movie, but it's out right now.
Yeah, I understand.
And I did a Christmas movie. I always want to do one of those.
It's a Christmas movie, you say?
No, I did. No, there's also on cable. It's still running a Christmas movie, Our Dream Christmas. I did that too,
Oh, okay.
but it's,
So,
for some reason it's still running
all right.
on cable.
So we can find you on TV still.
Yeah, you can find me.
Well, I appreciate it, Olivia.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
Hello.
How many years has it been since Barney Miller?
Oh, you mean the beginning or the end? I think we finished in like 82 or something, so that's 42 years,
All right.
something like that.
So do you have fond memories of that series?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You still keep up with all the folks that are...
Well, you know, it's
still with
just
us?
Hal and I that are left now.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I see him when I'm back down in L.A. He's 93, he's still doing plays.
Yeah, I've
And,
seen him
Yeah.
on Facebook doing stuff.
I mean, during the time we were doing the show, I was a single guy and into my activism and my music and stuff. He had a bunch of teenagers, so he was pretty busy
Yeah.
with family life, you know. But yeah, everybody else is of the regulars has moved on. So,
You know, that was a comedy, but it had some serious elements in it too.
yeah,
Especially your character, I think, had some struggles sometimes.
yeah. I think that as it evolved, you know, Wojo became in some ways kind of the heart of the show. Or so if they were gonna do one about, you know, anyway, that's you know. yeah, it was a great ride, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, you're doing some soap opera work now, or
I
have
worked
in
on
the
a
past?
show called General Hospital.
Okay.
I have, that's been a couple of years now, I think, since I did it. But I signed on for 3 months, and it ended up being almost 3 years. Alzheimer's arc. They brought me in to play the father of the lead guy in the show. There's somebody that played it before and then retired, and they wanted to do an Alzheimer's arc, you know. And
Yeah.
and this story just touched a lot of people because
Yeah.
Alzheimer's touches, you know, it's not just the person that's got it; it's the whole family and
That's for sure. Yeah.
community. So it was a great experience. I was not a soap opera fan. I'm not really. Even when we were doing Barney Miller, I didn't have a TV.
Oh,
you know,
really?
I didn't know.
So you haven't seen yourself a lot in Marty Miller, or do you have the
Well, I've seen
DVDs
it
or something?
lately. A friend that I met at one of these and offered to start a Facebook fan page, you know,
Yeah.
and she pulls out these wonderful clips, and you know, she's very much into the show, and also I've seen a lot of the episodes that I never saw before. And,
There you go.
And you know, I feel pretty good about it. There are other things I've done in my life, some acting and some not, that I'm just as thankful that they're not out there like that. You know?
So, career-wise, is there anything you wanted to do but haven't done yet?
Well, I was, you know, I got through college and graduate school playing piano bars and pickup rock bands, and then when I started acting, it sort of opened up something for me, and I started processing my own sort of spiritual life growth through writing songs.
Okay.
And then I went toward the end of the show, or when the show ended, I recorded a bunch of them at the push of my wife. I had gotten married and had a kid, and then we found out my wife had cancer, and then 2 years later she died. All of that got put on the back burner. But recently I've gotten those tapes out, and I've gotten them digitized because they get moldy over time. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way to get that going, you know. They might mean something to somebody. I continue to play music. It's kind of how my breadcrumbs in the cosmic forest.
Yeah.
That's how I think about them, you know. My little ways to, you know, I think music is that way for a lot of people, you know, and there are other songs that other people have written that mean something to me, but somehow these came along and gave me my little guide path to get through life, and so that's what I'm working on now.
All right. Is this the first time you've been to Marshfield, or? Have you
No, I
been-
was here 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't able to make it last year, but I really enjoyed it. It's a very sweet event. A lot of you know, wonderful people, and so I'm here again.
Well, it's my great pleasure to meet you, sir.
Nice to talk with you.
I've watched you for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I think I saw you on an NCIS episode once, didn't I?
I did one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
You know, once you've been out there, you know, then you can get these other episodic TV jobs. You know, they go by pretty fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, remember the old Lucille Ball thing with the candy on the conveyor belt?
Yeah.
Did you ever, you know, where it's kind of like they're moving, this is the story this week, but they're moving it through pretty fast, you know. So you don't get a chance to develop a character like you do on a soap or a series. But it's always interesting, and it's nice to keep that wolf out by the mailbox.
All right.
You know.
Well, thanks again.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right,
I'll keep
take
on
care. I
watching.
hope this works.
Thank you. Hello to Cherie J. Wilson
Hello.
of Walker, Texas Ranger fame, but you've done other stuff.
Well, I had 13 years on CBS, and I started out with Dallas, the original Dallas nighttime soap opera. I was blessed enough to join them years 7 to 13. And 2 years later, I was back in Dallas for Walker, Texas Ranger. And I have just had such a charmed career and blessed to work with the nicest people on the planet and the most talented.
Well, I've heard that Chuck Norris was something of an ogre. Can you confirm this?
No, no, no. That is just a complete fabrication and it's completely wrong. He is the nicest, most wonderful guy you could ever hope to meet. He's a true patriot, he's a good Christian, he's a wonderful family man, and he's a great friend.
You still hear from him?
We don't see each other that often anymore. He spends a lot of time at his ranch, and he also has a place in Hawaii. So he, I went back to Los Angeles, and he stayed in Texas. So it's a little harder. We see each other at certain events, and it's great to have a reunion when we can have it.
Were you able to show him a thing or two about karate chops and high kicks?
No. I think he showed me everything. I actually had the privilege of training with him and some of his karate guys, and it was the best shape I've ever been in my life, and it was exhausting. He's the real deal. He's 9 times the world champion, fought at Madison Square Garden, so yes, he's put in all of his dues.
I think most people are big fans of his, and everybody that has seen you are big fans of you.
Well,
What do you remember about doing Dallas? Was that a good time, or was it harder work than Walker, Texas Ranger, or pretty easy?
Dallas, we had 5 stages that were already pre-lit. We would only film in Dallas for 3 months of the year, and the rest of the time we were on stages because we had all the office interiors and this. We even had dug the swimming pool and had South Fork in one of our lots in Lorimer. And so all we did was laugh. I mean, Patrick and Larry were literally brothers, and they always tried to outdo one another with their jokes and their shenanigans. So no, I did not work harder, I laughed harder.
Well, I've heard Larry Hagman was pretty funny guy.
Oh, he's hysterical.
Yeah.
He's hysterical, and so is Patrick Duffy. And then 2 of them, working off of each other was like, every day I drive to work and I would say, don't laugh so hard you cry your makeup off. Don't laugh so hard you cry your makeup off. And it worked some days, but it didn't work all the days.
Well, I won't take up any more of your time because I know people want to see you.
That's
But,
okay.
It was great meeting you.
Great to talk to you.
And, are you coming back next year?
Absolutely. This town is so charming. Everybody has been just wonderful. I'm having the best time.
Small towns are like that.
They're the best.
Well, thanks again.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.